The morning rhythm is as old as the stones. For these early humans, the world is defined by the tide's slow breath, a cycle of give and take that has nourished them for generations. They move across the wet, dark sand of the littoral zone, their long shadows stretching in the low sun. Children dart between the rock pools, their shrieks sharp and clear in the salt-laced air, while the women methodically work the mussel beds, their hands and tools moving with practiced efficiency. This is the heart of their existence, a reliable pantry gifted by the sea. Behind their dune shelters, the proof of this long prosperity rises in great, white mounds. The Middens, mountains of discarded shells, a layered history of countless feasts under testament to their mastery of this coastal life. This is the story of hominid history, written not in stone, but in bone and shell. But today, the rhythm is broken. The air itself feels wrong, thick and stagnant, carrying a coppery tang that irritates the back of the throat. The water, normally a shifting palette of blues and greens, holds a murky, reddish-brown stain that clings to the shore like a shroud. Dead fish, their silver eyes clouded, lie scattered in the foam. The gulls, usually a raucous, seething mob, are silent. Some stand listlessly on the high rocks, others lie twisted in the sand. An elder, his face a map of seasons, pauses his work, sniffing the air. He sees a cormorant struggling in the shallows, its wings beating uselessly against the syrupy water before it goes still. There is no precedent for this in the clan's memory. It is a quiet miss, a deep and unsettling shift in the world's balance. By midday, the poison reveals its true nature. The clan gathers for the morning's meal, but the mussels taste strange, acrid. The first to fall is a young child, his laughter turning to gasps, his small body seized by convulsions. Palate, cold and sharp, ripples to the grip. An old woman clutches her stomach, a low moan escaping her lips before she collapses. They do not understand microbiology or algal blooms. They only understand cause and effect. The sea, their mother, their provider, is suddenly a source of swift, agonizing death. The food that has defined their prehistoric life is now a venom. A young mother, watching her matriarch in the sand, makes the connection with a scream of terror, kicking over a basket of shellfish. It is the sea. The sea is killing them. That simple, devastating piece of intelligence becomes the clan's new, brutal reality. Their world has shrunk to a narrow strip of sand between a poisoned ocean and an unfamiliar, foreboding forest. Starvation, a ghost they had long kept at bay, now walks among them. The days that follow are a slow, grinding attrition. The sick either die or, by some cruel lottery of fate, recover into a hollow-eyed weakness. The clan huddles by its fires. The dwindling flames a poor defense against the gnawing hunger in their bellies. The children's cries have faded to whimpers. This is how a people ends. Not in a great cataclysm, but in a silent, creeping lethargy. This is the unwritten story of so many human ancestors. A footnote in the grand narrative of human evolution, but within this despair, a different kind of survival instinct stirs. A young hunter, his body lean and taut with hunger, does not stare into the fire. He stares at the sea. For hours, he watches the line where the red water meets the clean, deep blue, and there, far beyond the reach of any spear thrown from shore. He sees them, flashes of silver, the powerful arch of huge fish leaping from the water. Their bodies fat and glistening, they are a feast, an impossible, untouchable feast. And he sees something else, gustwood, the pale, salt-bleached carcasses of trees, washed ashore by storms, lie scattered along the high-tide line. They float. He has seen it, played with small pieces as a child. A connection forms in his mind, a spark of logic so audacious it feels like madness. He picks up a long, smooth piece of driftwood and carries it to the water's edge, pushing it out. It bobs, a patient and willing vessel. The idea is born not from wisdom, but from the rock calculus of desperation. They cannot go through the poison. They must go over it. This is the essence of cognitive flexibility, the ability that separates these ancient humans from all that came before. He tries to explain, his hands shaping the air, drawing a crude raft in the sand for the others to see, pointing to the driftwood, then to the distant, leaping fish. The clown's first reaction is fear. The sea is a killer, a monster that has turned on them. The thought of surrendering oneself to its embrace on a flimsy collection of logs is a violation of every instinct. But the elder, the one who first saw the death in the water, understands. He sees the truth in the young man's desperate drawing. The old way is death. The new way is a chance, however slim. He places a hand on the young man's shoulder, a silent, binding approval. And with that, the work begins. It is a monumental act of community will. A piece of primitive technology pulled into existence by starving hands. Men, their muscles screaming in protest, haul the heaviest logs. Women, their fingers nimble from a lifetime of weaving, gather toughly honors from the forest edge, soaking them in fresh water to make them pliable. They lash the logs together. Their knots a testament to generations of survival skills. There is no design, no blueprint, only a shared, desperate vision. The thing that takes shape on the sand is ugly, clumsy, a testament to their profound ignorance of the ocean's power. But it is also a vessel of hope. It is their collective answer to a question the world has never before asked them. The raft is a fragile pact with the unknown. 3 are chosen. The visionary, whose idea this was, his eyes burning with a feverish intensity. Another, the clan's strongest hunter, his scarred knuckles white around the shaft of a fire-hardened spear. And a third, the quiet man, older, who knows the currents better than any other. They are not heroes embarking on a quest. They are sacrifices, pushed out from the shore by the gaunt hands of their kin. This is a moment of profound altruism. The few risking everything for the many, a defining characteristic of our species' journey. The raft pitches violently as it clears the first line of surf, a clumsy, barely tamed beast. The red, toxic water licks at its edges before they cross the demarcation line into the deep, clear blue. The world changes instantly. The air is clean. The water beneath them is a terrifying, bottomless abyss. For these coastal foragers, this is a new dimension of existence, as alien as the surface of the moon. They paddle with crude, flattened pieces of wood, their movements clumsy and inefficient. The shoreline, their only known reality, shrinks behind them. They are a speck of fragile life in an immense, indifferent world. A microcosm of the entire human story. Paleontology uncovers the bones, but it cannot exhume the terror of a moment like this. Then, they see it. A shadow, moving with impossible speed and grace beneath them. It is one of the Pleistocene megafauna of the sea, a tuna the size of a grown man, its body a perfect, blue-black torpedo of muscle. This is the hunger they came for, the life that could save their own. The strong hunter rises to his knees, his spear held high, every fiber of his being focused on the moment the fish will surface. The water erupts. The tuna breaches, a flash of silver and power. And in that instant, he throws. The spear strikes true. Just behind the gills, the raft lurches as the line, a crude rope of braided vines, goes taut. It is not a hunt. It is a battle for control. The massive fish tows them further out to sea, the ghostwood groaning under the strain, for what feels like an eternity. They are tethered to a force of nature they cannot hope to master, only endure. This is a new kind of persistent hunting, a battle of will against brute strength. The quiet man steers with his paddle, his face a mask of concentration, preventing the raft from capsizing. The visionary desperately holds the vine, its friction burning his hands raw. Slowly, agonizingly, the fish tires. They haul it, inch by bloody inch, toward the raft, its immense weight threatening to swamp them. With a final, coordinated effort, they heave part of its great body onto the logs. its tail still thrashing in the water. Blood, rich and dark, stains the pale wood. They have done it. They have touched the untouchable feast, a bounty of flesh that will feed the clan for days. Their story, and the story of all before humans, has just irrevocably changed. As they puddle back, the dead weight of their prize stabilizing the raft, they are no longer just foragers. They are mariners. The simple act of lashing logs together has done more than save a clan. It has unlocked a new world. This single, desperate voyage has pushed the boundaries of their known universe, turning the impassable barrier of the ocean into a vast, navigable resource. This event, lost to the deep time of prehistory, is a quiet genesis. The raft is more than wood and vine. It is the physical manifestation of foresight, cooperation, and the courage to confront the unknown. These are the very instincts that will eventually propel their descendants across every ocean, to every continent. Their struggle is the bedrock of our own civilization, a reminder that every great leap forward for humanity began not with a flash of genius, but with a hard choice made in the face of annihilation. Their hunger forced them to build, their community gave them the strength to sail. And in that desperate calculus, we see the blueprint of ourselves, what seemingly insurmountable tides await. Their children, now facing, and what ghostwood lies waiting on our shores. The chronicler falls silent, for the echo of their courage is louder than any word. What new fear awakens when the world itself begins to melt?